What should be avoided during the NEBOSH Open Book examination? Welcome to our SAFEtime Online TV, and today we are going to break down our phase 2 of the common pitfalls that should be avoided, or the common mistakes that should be avoided during the NEBOSH Open Book examination. In our first tutorial, we discussed the common pitfalls that should be avoided before the exam starts. During the examination, this is where most referrals happen. The exam is an open book, and that is exactly why most NEBOSH students fail. Now, what should you do, and what are the do and don'ts? What should you do and what should you avoid in order for you to pass your examination and avoid a referral? You need to read the scenario to understand, not just the questions. In the NEBOSH Open Book examination, the exam will describe a certain scenario that will cover a certain company or an organization. The student is supposed to read this scenario to understand, not reading to answer questions. Therefore, you need to take enough time reading the scenario in order for you to understand. One of the biggest mistake is providing a generic course book answers. During the examination, if you read the scenario, you should also refer in the course book or the notes that you are provided by your learning center. By having these two sources, and you also have freedom to use the internet, but you should use it well. You should not generate an AI answers and copy them and paste in your examination. The NEBOSH clearly states that we are looking to see application of the NEBOSH knowledge. We are looking to see the application of the learning outcomes, or the application of the learning, not a memorization application. So you should not memorize your course book. You should not memorize the answers. You should not memorize the definition. But if you have an understanding, and if you have an all-round understanding of the course, wherever the question will come from, you will be in a position to answer the question properly, and you will be able to apply the knowledge that you garnered, the knowledge that you got in class, plus the scenario that has been provided. You will combine both two sources and provide the right answer. So, in the scenario, most of the time, the scenario provides you with the following. Number one, organization type. That means in the scenario, you will be in a position to understand what kind of organization it's talking about. Is it an agricultural? Whichever the organization, the scenario will describe it. Number two, it will describe the workers' behaviors. It will describe the workers' health and safety cultures. You will be able to know how many workers are in the organization, how they behave in terms of health and safety, how they respond to emergencies. All this information, you will get it in the scenario. Therefore, all this information will help you in answering the questions. Number three, the scenario will provide you, or will describe the operational activities. What is going on, or what is taking place in that organization? Is there any steel work? Is there any work at height? Any hot work? Any confined space entry work activities? Any chemical work activities? Or any work that is related to biological hazards? So the scenario will provide you the in-depth of the description of the organization for you to understand and come up with the right answers. Therefore, your answers must reflect that exactly workplace. So why does the scenario gives all this information? This is for you, student, to be able to have this information, to be able to have this information on your hand and provide the answers exactly from the scenario. So what you are required to do is to take the knowledge that you got in class, apply it in the examination based on the scenario that is describing a certain organization. So the exam, actually, the open book examination is not difficult, but it is structured in a way that if you are well organized, well prepared, it becomes very easy for you to answer the questions, because what is important is your fundamental knowledge from the course book or the sources of knowledge that you got from your learning center. Number two, your understanding of the scenario that has been, whatever has been described in the scenario, you need to understand it. And that will mean you need to understand the organization type, what type of organization it is. Number two, the workers' behaviors. How does the workers behave in terms of health and safety? And that will mean what are the health and safety culture, what is the health and safety culture of that organization? Number three, the operational activities. What kind of activities are taking place in that particular organization? If it's an agriculture, if it's an industrial organization where there is, let's say, an assembly industry where cars, bicycles, or any equipments are being assembled together, or any machines are being assembled together, the scenario will describe that kind of organization. And after describing, it provides you with the right information for you to answer the questions correctly. Now, here is an example of a generic answer that will not earn you a mark. So, let's say, for example, the question comes, how could you improve the consultation? How could you improve the consultation with the workforce in the organization described? So, this given question is asking you exactly to provide your answer from the scenario. Writing your answers from your textbook or from any other source will result into a 0 mark. So here is a tip on how to read the scenario during the examination. I already explained this in my previous video, but I will repeat it once again so that you will be able to put it into practice. Number one, first review. Number one, you need to read the scenario in order for you to get the first review of this of what is talked about in the scenario or in that organization. So the first reading should provide you with the first review of that scenario. You will be able to understand what kind of organization it is talking about, what kind of activities it is doing, what are the health and safety culture of the workers or the employees. You will be able to know the whereabouts of that particular organization. Number two, the second reading, you will be able to highlight every specific detail, e.g., the number of workers, the shifts, the patterns, the hazards and the hazards mentioned, and existing control measures. So the first reading is to provide you with the review of the organization. The second reading, you will be in a position to highlight every specific detail. Number one, the number of workers. Number two, the types of shift. Are there any worker working at night? Any morning shift or afternoon or evening shift? Is there any work activity taking place during weekends? Is there any work activity taking place during weekends? So all this information you will gather together. You will be able to highlight it. Number two, the work patterns. How frequently the workers are going for breaks. How do they change the shift? You will be able to understand the patterns. Number three, the types of hazards which are mentioned. You will be able to highlight all the types of hazards which are mentioned in the scenario. And number four, the existing control measures. You will be able to know what control measures are currently in the organization and what should be added in the control measures in order to prevent or to provide further prevention. The third reading, you should have the questions in mind. So, what is the consequences of failing to provide an application of your knowledge in the scenario? The NEBOSH themselves says, if learners answer by simply providing or producing text from the course book, this will not earn them a mark, or this will not be enough to pass their examination. The textbook production is equal to referral. Listen to that. The textbook production is equal to referral. So the textbook should be a guide in order for you to give the right answers. Number four, or number F. Number F, the command words are your marking scheme. The command words are your marking scheme. If you fail to understand the command word, that can be explain, describe. So explain, describe, list. If you fail to understand these terms or this, if the question says why or how, and instead you provide the answers like identify or list, this will not earn you a mark, because the question asks you how, meaning you have to give an explanation. Who, you need to give an example of the person that has been involved. Who has been involved? How something has happened. You need to explain the scenario. And why, you need to give reason. Now, here is an example of command words that and their explanation. Here is an example of command words or a dictate on how you should answer them. So if you prepare a table of 3 columns, prepare a table of 3 columns, and you are going to have the first column as the command word, the second column, what the NEBOSH expect you to answer, and the third column, you'll write you'll write the wrong answers that most people or most students are right in their examination. So number one, the command word is identify. So if the exam asks you to identify, the answer or what the NEBOSH expects you to write is to name or list or to give the points. If you write a paragraph, you will get a wrong answer. Number two, describe. So what the NEBOSH wants you to do, describe means you give a detailed account of an incident. You give a detailed account. But what is the wrong answer? Giving a one-word answer will not give you a mark. The command word number 3, explain. What does the NEBOSH expect you to write? Explain means you give reason why and how. So explain means you provide a reason of why and how. And what about the wrong answer? Just stating what. Stating what has happened will not give you a mark. So number 4, the command word is outline. What the NEBOSH expects you to provide is to give the key features only. Outline, meaning you provide or they give the key features only. Giving a full detailed answer or essay will not earn you a mark. Number 5 and the last one, to give. If the question is give, you need to provide example. But you should not provide a theory without example. So if you provide a certain theory or an answer without example, that will not earn you any mark. So what is the consequence of this? You can know the entire syllabus. The consequence of this is you can know the entire syllabus. Still, you fail the NEBOSH exam because you don't answer the right question or you don't provide the answer to the right format. So you can know the entire syllabus, but you will fail because you don't answer in the format that the examiner is marking against. So you should be in a position to understand all the command words in order for you to understand, in order for you to provide the right answer. And this will mark the end of our second phase. And this will mark the end of our today's tutorial. Due to time, we are going to proceed. Due to time, we are going to proceed in the next tutorial.